Hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, one half of the DungeonSwag.com team. And today we're in the 3.5 Monster Manual. Boo 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 boo. And the entry is the inevitable. So you have the Zelakut, the Kolerut, and the Marut. I assume that's how they're pronounced. I don't know. So I'm going to do the Marut. It's a size large, and basically it's like a inevitable that comes to ensure that you die when you're supposed to. And I say this loosely. It has weird rules as to how it determines when you should die. Like liches who are cheating life, or people that sacrifice thousands to survive plagues and stuff like that. And the cool thing about the Marut is they have a thunder and lightning punch. One of their hands does a lightning punch that blinds you and hurts you with lightning. And the other has a punch that... oh man, that base is sturdy. Deafens you, and it's pretty cool. So what I have here is a Dollar Tree Batman for this craft, and I think he'd be a good base for that model. There's got some modifications we're going to have to make, obviously, and we need a base. So I'm going to do my base like I do all my bases. Cheap. I suppose I could buy official bases if I wanted to, but I don't. Oh, I forgot to tell Mrs. Doom to please grab me some baking soda so I didn't have to leave. Out of glue. Well, that's not going to be true. I'm never out of glue. There we go. You can save those glue packages and use the plastic to mix stuff in, you know, and the back piece to cut into parts for stuff you need. So those are actually not garbage. If you think I'm doing a lot of garbage, you can actually save these containers to use in your sci-fi builds too. Though I'll be honest with you, I maybe save 10 or so at a time, and then the rest kind of get garbaged. So I create some waste. I do. I'm a waste guy. Okay, and we're going to get our I'm making a guy from a D&D. Oh, he's an inevitable. There we go, a little bit of glazoo. You know what? It's probably not going to stick. I've been having a lot of glue issues lately. I've been having to use a lot more baking soda. It's almost as if my glue is just not what it once was. I don't know. So I'm just going to get a little bit of that and a little bit of that. Sprinkle that around. And I'm going to stick my guy where I want him. And I'm just going to let it run off his feet. Oops. And something like a date. Now I'm going to get a piece of fabric. I'm going to dab off some of that excess. There we go. And if you just throw that fabric on your concrete floor, you can take it whenever you need it to wipe stuff. Alright, so our inevitable. Let's look at the reference art from the book. And we know we need to add some giant thing to his face. Like a big spike horn thing. So let's do that first. So I'm just going to take a package of glue here. I'm going to fold that in half. And let me open that book up again because I already forgot what it looked like. What are we trying to accomplish here? Okay. Something like that. So it's like an axe. I'll leave that open. Okay, something like that. We want to add that to his head. So I think the smart thing to do would be to kind of bend this into a little bit of the shape we want already. And that might be a little bigger than what we need, so let's snip it down a little bit. Just a little bit. Something like that. Nice. And what I'm going to do is open it up. If I can, open it up. Nice. And I'm just, I dropped it. Of course I did. I'm just going to get a little dab of glue on the inside of each of those wings. And attach this to his head. And of course, I forgot his head is turned. So let me try that again. Okay, open that back up. Nice. I put it on his head as if his head was not turned. Okay. I just want to follow the natural shape of his head. Kind of squeeze that together and get that shape. And then we're going to get a little bit in the top here to fill that in. Okay. And make it a little congruous. I don't know if congruous is the right word there. May or may not be. I'm just going to get a dab there and kind of pull that down into his helmet nice and smooth that off. Okay. Now he's got some other distinctive features that we might want to use some of this cardboard for. He's got some pretty biff shoulder pads. Oh, Mrs. Doom is home. Hello, Mrs. Doom. You pretty lady. Alright, so I did not think that through. So let's fix that real quick and make two nice congruous shoulder pads. I guess symmetrical is the term I would like. Thank you, Mrs. Doom. Maybe we should call her Lady Doom. Lady Doom. Oh, that sounds good. Snip off that little fuzzy bit of end there I don't like on both of those. Okay. Let's build Homeboy some sweet shoulder pads. Alright, so my thought was that we would just round these up and put a tiny dab of glue in there. And then pull those into position, like that. We'll do the same thing on both sides. Just a dab of glue, get it where we want it. And we want these to be even, so we'll do the best job we can accomplishing that look. Okay, nice. All right, so he's got some little pieces that go over his hands. So we're just going to get a thin line of cardboard. I don't know how thin, but thinnish. Whoa. Oh, I lost my other one. Where'd it go? Okay. We're going to do the same thing on them. We're going to make them the same length first. We're going to curve those a little bit. Put a dab of glue. And get those on the fists and wrists. Okay. Now a little bit of that cardboard's peeling off from the outside because this is just not meant to be used for such fine work, and that's okay. You can just pull that off if you need to, like I did. So I'm just going to get the same thing on this side. Okay. They do have a belt around their midsection. And a little bit of an armor plate on their chest. So I'm just going to dry fit a piece here. I'm not measuring anything, I'm just making it as even as I can. Okay. And then for his belt, I'm just going to round that up the best I can. And I'm not going to do the whole thing, I'm just going to do the middle part for now. Okay? I'm going to come around to the back. I'm going to cut this off about halfway. Now there's this nub where his cape was, and I probably should have cut that off immediately, and I did not. So I'm just going to come in there and snip that off. Okay. That's not a crucial part of the design anyways. Alright, so we could do some stuff around his legs. He has some little wraps around his legs that we don't really need, but I don't see how they're going to really hurt what we're doing. Okay, we're just going to do the same thing. Just get some glue. close into shape. Look at that. Okay. I think this will capture what we want it to for the most part. Now on their face, there is kind of a Spartan-esque looking deal going on. So let's fold one of these in half and try to make something that'll work like that. Oh, quit bouncing around, you damn fool. There we go. We probably should have done this immediately. But we didn't. Okay. No problem. All right. They have some big ball things on the sides of their heads. And I'm just going to get some little teeny gem beads and a dab of super glue. And all I'm doing is just dipping that in the glue and putting it on his head. Oh. Drama. There we go. And we want those to be kind of symmetrical. Okay. Now they don't carry a weapon or anything because of their thunder and lightning fists being their primary mode of beating ass and killing fools that don't want to die. So let's look at our inevitable. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this dude and I'm going to, well, let's do some strengthening exercises for him first. Let's remember that this is cardboard. So I'm just going to get some glue on here. Okay. Rub it around. And that'll strengthen this up good. Then we need something on his belt there too, I think, now that I'm looking at it. What can we put on his belt? What's his belt look like? We don't really see. Alright, well we can put another one of those gem beads on his belt. We'll just decorate homeboy right up. We'll get him looking nice. Is it centered? I don't know. Sort of. Now these aren't really gem beads. They're just, that's just what I call them. They're some kind of crystal bead, like painting things that Mrs. Doom and my mom use. I'm just strengthening this dude up. I'm not doing anything too fancy here. It might look like I'm a professional. I'm not. I'm a dude in my basement. Sweet. Now, I've never actually used a true inevitable. I've never had a miniature for one, but I've used some like things to symbolize that kind of thought process. And now that I have this inevitable, you know, I have valid reason to use one. I'm going to put something on the back of him here to cover that up a little bit and make that look a little better. I don't know what yet. I think what I'm going to do is just get a little bit of glue. And cover up that back part with that a little bit so it looks a little bit gooder. Okay. Oh, 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 ow, ow, ow. Damn it. Stuck to me like Chuck. Now that's going to look weird and funny, so we got to get the glue back out and touch that up. Okay. All right, so when we come back in part 2, this dude's going to be all painted up and done. And we're just going to show you what he looks like. No, that's not actually true. In part 2, I'm going to have this guy base coated. And we're going to come back and we're going to paint him and try to make him look inevitable. So if you like what I'm doing here on the channel, please hit like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon. Things like this that help. Leave a comment. Check out our website. Maybe buy some minis. That'd be sick. That'd help us out a lot. Join our Discord. Show us what you've been working on. Show us your crafts and your paints, and maybe play some video games with us, or RP with us, or just craft and paint minis with us. You know, stuff like that. Just community shenanigans. That's all I'm thinking. And I'll see you in part 2. Thanks for watching.